Coming up on Movieology, we are going to uncover the Adjustment Bureau and the chairman at the top who's writing the plan for your life. Oh, and I happen to have your adjustment plan right here. And yes, it shows that you are watching Movieology right now. Today's episode is brought to you by the American Vision. For a chance to win a $20 gift certificate to American Vision's online store, be sure to like Movieology on Facebook, then post a comment to this video within 24 hours. American Vision has a vast array of phenomenal worldview-related books and DVDs at AmericanVision.com, so be sure to enter to win the $20 gift certificate as soon as you've watched today's episode. Welcome to Movieology, your ticket to engaging this spectacular world of film from a bedrock of biblical truth. I am your host, Joseph Darnell. You can find Movieology at movieology.tv, at facebook.com/movieology, and twitter.com/movieologytv. So if there's any movie I think that worldview-minded Christian thinkers should see this season, it is The Adjustment Bureau. It is movies like these that are meant to pique our faith-based interests and get our wheels turning about the several theological issues at play. Sure, it's meant to be entertainment for mass audiences too. So the Bureau is designed to appeal to people of many worldview persuasions. That being said, it is great movies like these that afford us the opportunity to sharpen each other's worldviews in our discussions about movies. So now that I've got you all keyed up about this movie, let's talk about it. But first, on the brink of winning a seat in the U.S. Senate, ambitious politician David Norris, portrayed by Matt Damon, meets beautiful contemporary ballet dancer Elise Sellis, played by Emily Blunt. They feel an instant connection, but Elise is chased away by mysterious men in hats. David learns that he is up against the agents of the Adjustment Bureau itself. They say that the chairman's plan is to prevent David and Elise from falling in love. In the face of overwhelming odds, David must either let her go and accept the predetermined path, or risk everything to defy fate and be with her. David chooses to run from his destiny and get the girl he believes is meant to be with him for life. But in doing so, it will cost them all their hopes, dreams, and success that fate had in store for them. The Adjustment Bureau is written for the screen and directed by George Nolfi. So take David, the young, aspiring politician of New York City. He's presumably Democrat, and put him on a winning streak at the polls. Come election day, something dumb that he has done when he was young and immature in his past comes to haunt him in the media, and thus kills his terrific lead over the other runner for U.S. Senate. Too bad. But feeling down in the dumps, this young man finds some alone time in the men's room to rehearse his concession speech. While he is in there, a mysterious but attractive woman named Elise appears and boosts his spirits so that he goes out there to make a phenomenal concession speech that reignites his popularity with the public. Everything I've just described was planned by the mysterious Bureau and was meant to set David Norris on a very successful political career down the road. At the time it took place, it just seemed like rotten luck and good luck intertwined. But before the end of the movie, it is clarified that the chairman's planned all of this to take place for a greater purpose and fate. Even the unusual yet crucial appearance of Elise. But what the Bureau had not planned was for David to meet Elise again and cause him to pursue her love unconditionally. The plan written by the chairman has the two of them taking different paths in life. David doesn't want to play along and wants to do everything he can to maintain his free will and get the girl of his dreams. The Adjustment Bureau makes the difficult subject of God's sovereignty and man's free will easy to digest for all audiences. While at times the story elements reminded me of The Twilight Zone and The Matrix, Inception, and yes, Sleepless in Seattle, it went places in theology that most movies avoid like the plague, and most anyone in the audience could organically follow the logic and profundity of the story. Inception is difficult for many to follow, but The Adjustment Bureau will be like a piece of cake for most viewers. So while it has this great man against God story unfolding, it's apparent that the movie deviates from a biblical point of view as to who God is and what his plan is for our lives. The Adjustment Bureau raises the right questions, then gives mostly fanciful answers about who God is and how God operates. Oddly enough, little in the movie is religious in its depiction. Nothing is based on clear-cut faith and values. The protagonist, David Norris, simply cannot understand why a good God would want to keep him and Elise apart. David is evidently not knowledgeable about how the bigger scheme of things work. He wrestles with God, so to speak, till he's backed into a corner and must acknowledge that God has him beat. There's a great mixture of philosophies here. There's Romanticism, Christianity, and humanism. But ultimately, the essential worldview elements are Christian in nature. Oddly enough, although, it is a mixed bag of Christianity. There's practically no standard of morality, as the characters' actions don't have you sow what you reap style consequences. Ultimately, the movie's message is this: you demonstrate what you really are made of when you're being tested. Never give up on what you know is right, and seek to accomplish that goal with God's blessing. So it acknowledges that we perceive to have a free will, but in reality, we're just really the instruments of the chairman to accomplish his eternal plan. And that chairman does want what is best for us. That's as clear as I can get without spoiling the ending. And I don't want to do that. I want you to see this movie and discuss the issues at hand with your family and friends. Of course, please be sure to get a second opinion before you go to see the movies that I recommend. I give the Adjustment Bureau 4 stars in terms of overall entertainment quality, story, and message. If I were rating it for theology, I'd have to give it just 2 stars. But I'm feeling generous because it is an original story that deals with God and his plan for our lives. The story's pros outweigh its cons. Is it going to be one of my favorite movies of the year? The verdict is still out on that. Since I cannot relate God's word to much of the story's view on God and his persona, it leaves the story feeling empty. God in the movie is inclined to be the God of romanticism. So that's it for today. We would love to know what you think of the Adjustment Bureau, if you have seen it and what stood out to you in the Worldview Matters. Please comment on this video or write us a message to info@movieology.tv. Remember, you can always catch great movie news, updates, links, and our show at our Facebook profile at facebook.com/Movieology. And remember right now that we have a contest to win a gift certificate for AmericanVision.com. You can also find us at Movieology.tv and our feed at twitter.com/MovieologyTV. Thanks for watching Movieology. On the brink of I was about to say, is that the brick, the brack, or the block? I was like, I saw all of those in my head. Movieology.tv. Remember, you can always get great. Today, as soon as you've watched today's video. That's not a sentence. I'm sorry. That's kidding.
Wow, I never realized you're a lot shorter than me.
I know, isn't
You know
it
what?
weird
It's
looking?
not. It's illusory. I'm actually the same height.
It's crazy how much shorter
Me?
everybody is than me.
Like
Yeah.
4'12".